Hello everybody and welcome back to Gays, Lies, Sex Wives and DM Slides. I'm your host Jed and today's episode is a little bit different and a little bit special because your boy is turning 20 tomorrow on the 5th of April, and tonight we are going out clubbing for my birthday. And honestly, I am bloody petrified because I literally realised that we've not got a episode for tonight. So we are literally recording this episode on the same day that's meant to be out, and it's only 12:27 right now. So we're doing it, you know, a bit later than usual, but oh well. But instead of me asking all the questions like usual, we're flipping the script. Today I've got my, well, unfortunately, I'm joking. I've got my fiancé, the one and only Richie Packham, taking over and asking me the questions.
Hi everyone, I'm very excited for this and slightly nervous because I've got full control today.
I don't know how I feel about that, but let's go.
Alright, let's start with gays, but this time it's all about you.
Oh god.
How do you feel going into your 20s as a gay man?
Honestly, I feel more confident than I did a few years ago. And I'm actually wearing leather trousers tonight when we go out clubbing. And I've never worn leather trousers. And I'm also wearing a body suit thing to sculpt me. But I think your late teens are all about figuring yourself out, who you are, what you like, what you'll tolerate, which I don't tolerate much shit. If you know, you know. And if you know me very well, then you'll know that anyway. And now I feel like I'm stepping into my 20s knowing myself a lot more. Not fully, obviously, but enough to feel grounded.
Well, besides of me, feeling old in my 20s, but hey oh.
I can agree. I woke up this morning, I was like, oh my god, I actually feel so old. I was complaining about my back, and I was like, babe, stop complaining about your back, you're only 20. But now I know what it bloody feels, so...
I don't love that. Next question. What's something you learned about yourself over the last few years?
Oh, I've learned that I don't need to shrink myself to fit into spaces or relationships, even though I'm shrinking myself into a bodysuit for clubbing tonight. But that's different, that's fashion. The right people will accept you as you are, and if they don't, they're not your people.
Well, I can tell about that because of I've been through that in my life.
Oh, tell me about it.
Alright, let's move on into the lies. What's a lie you believe about life or relationships when you were younger?
Oh god. Probably that love had to be dramatic to be real. I used to think if it wasn't intense, emotional, and a bit chaotic, it wasn't meaningful, kind of thing. But now I realise that real love is calm. It's consistent. It doesn't make you question yourself all the time. Unless you're ADHD like me, then I question everything. But, you know, that's life.
Well, I always have to live with a life throughout my life, so yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, next one.
Alright.
What's something you wish you could tell your younger self?
Oh. Okay. You know what? I'm actually going to go off script for this question. Obviously I've got the script in front of me, and normally I do stay on script, but I'm actually going to go off script. Because something I would tell my younger self is, look, not everything in life is going to be easy, and things that you are going to accomplish and gain, it's going to take time, and it's going to you're gonna get there over time, and just don't wish your life away too quickly, because you are still young. Live the bestest, fullest life you can possibly give yourself as a young person, and don't push away friendships, because if anything, you need friends when you're growing up, and you need friends when you're older. And honestly, just, you know, just be yourself. And yeah, but back onto the squid bit now. I would also say stop overthinking everything, because not everything needs your energy, and not everyone deserves access to you. Protect your peace earlier.
Well, I'll say that.
Oh my goodness, I've got a cramp in my foot.
Let's say that right. Yeah. That right. Yeah. You will change. Yeah. Like you will be a phantom of your former self, but it's life, in it. So.
And I'd probably also say to myself younger that, yeah, you're going to meet an amazing man who fucking loves you, and when you turn 20, you're going to look like an absolute fashion icon, and you're going to look like a bloody slay queen on that dance floor tonight.
Well, but again, let's say right, our younger selves will not believe you.
No, that's what I think though. I always think back to myself, like, if I was younger, what would I actually tell myself? And honestly, I don't know. Like, I said what I said because I would tell myself that, but back then I was like, what would my younger self tell my older self now? And honestly, you know, it took me this many years to think about, and you know, don't push away your good friends, and don't invite in the bad friends who are fake and, you know, just want to make fun of you. And stand up to your bullies, and don't let anyone bully you, and just, you know, be cruel to others to be kind to yourself. Self-love, self-worth, and self-care kind of thing.
Well, yeah, I can agree on that.
Yeah.
Now for sex thrives,
Oh god.
growth, confidence, and what's next? What does thriving look like for you in your 20s?
Oh god. Well, for me currently right now, thriving for me is being happy, stable, and surrounded by the right people, which I said about, you know, what I'd tell my younger self. Also building my podcast, growing as a person, and just becoming more secure in who I am, and just being the baddest bitch I possibly can.
Well, let's say that you know, I agree on
Yeah.
I agree on you. And what are you most excited about turning 20? Well, not feel old, you know,
Oh,
obviously.
well, feeling old, but no, honestly, just a fresh chapter, because I am actually moving out this year, but it feels like a new era, more independence, more growth, and just stepping into a more confident version of myself, basically.
Well, hmm. Alright, let's line up with DM slides. What's the
Oh,
funniest or weirdest DM you've ever received?
Honestly, there's been a few questionable ones, but I think the weirdest is when people act like they know you personally, just from social media. It's like, we've never spoken. Like, get on my DMs, please. Thank you. Bye bye.
Well, yeah, like, you know, I got that, but I'm like, nah.
Yeah.
I'd like pass. Nah, man, I don't know, yeah.
Or you'd probably play their own game, to be fair.
I would.
Literally.
Final question. What kind of
Yay.
energy are you bringing into your 20s?
Badass bitch. Confident energy. Calm energy. Actually, I say calm energy now, but I'm riddled with ADHD. Nothing is calm about me, not even when I'm asleep. But, and definitely no more entertaining nonsense, babe. We're protecting peace in this new era, bitches. Okay, I actually loved that. I'm not gonna lie. Big thank you to my fiance Richie for taking over and putting me on the spot a little bit.
You found it well. I'll give you that.
Yeah. Well, we'll be having a few talks, I think.
Well, we ain't.
Thank you, I think. Anyway, if there's one thing I've learned going into my 20s, it's this. You don't need to have everything figured out, because literally I do not. I'm moving out this year. I don't have a paying job. I'm unemployed. I'm a full-time student. I don't have anything planned. Let alone what I want to be, what my dream role or dream job is in the future, or anything like that. You just need to keep growing, learning, and choosing yourself. But before we wrap up today's episode, don't forget to follow the podcast on social media. You can find us on Instagram and YouTube at Gays, Lies, Sex, Thrives, DMs Pod. That's both on Instagram and YouTube, which is Gays, Lies, Sex, Thrives, DMs Pod. Make sure you check it out for updates and future episodes. Thank you so much for listening to Gays, Lies, Sex Lives and DM Slides. I'm your host Jed, and my guest was Richie Packham, and I'll see you in the next episode. Alright, bye everyone.
Bye.